Good morning. It is day 130 on the Pacific Crest Trail, and it is cold. So cold, in fact, that I have my glovies on, and this morning I woke up to there being a frost, a layer of ice all over my tent. It did also mean that the condensation was back on the quilt, so sadly I'll have to dry that out again. But so I was saying last night, because I pushed yesterday, as long as I go the same kind of pace as yesterday, um, I'll be able to have about 2 extra hours in the day. So yeah, definitely going to take it chill, enjoy it. There might even be a tiny little side quest up a small little mountain that I was reading about along the way. So yeah, we'll see what the day holds. Hopefully it should warm up before too long, but it's not too bad. I'll be able to dry everything out and camp nice and dry tonight. See you in a bit. Hello again. Today was pretty awesome, really. If yesterday I was powered by audiobook, today I was powered by good vibes and great views. I barely listened to any kind of content, whether like audiobook or podcast today. I did try one like after lunch, but I couldn't concentrate on it, and only really listened to music for the last like hour of the day. Today started the way that yesterday ended, with some lovely meadows to walk through. It was a really nice, fresh, if a little bit cold, crisp start to the day, with bright blue skies, like barely a cloud in sight, which made a change from the last few days for sure. And yeah, going through the lovely purple flowers that smell so good. Although they didn't smell as much in the morning, I guess because it was cold. And yeah, like highlights of today were mostly about the terrain. So for instance, a few miles in, the path was covered in lots of shiny obsidian. It sparkled. It looked like the ground was wet, but it was all just the shiny rock, which was very cool. And then the majority of the day was actually spent walking through, I think, a lava field with loads of loose rocks that people on Far Out called lava rocks. So I assume they're made of lava, that could have posed great danger to many people's ankles, but it was just an otherworldly kind of environment and landscape, so it's definitely worth it. And just before the lava rocks, I saw a marmot, the first one that I've seen, or at least first one that I've seen alive in Oregon. There was one that had been run over in Crater Lake, which was a bit sad, but that was very fun, and had a little bit of a stare down with it before moving on. And I stopped at a cool little lake for lunch where I managed to dry out all my stuff. And there were loads of butterflies hovering around the edge of the lake as well. And again, more butterflies throughout the day, which, yeah, you'll see footage of. Just not as much as Crater Lake, but still lots and lots, just making me feel like a Disney princess wherever I went, fluttering around, keeping me company for the rest of the day. And a few miles after lunch, there was a very appreciated water cache that also had a whole bunch of sodas, which was a very delightful bonus. It was almost as good as the Mountain Dew after Hat Creek Rim, that really, really hot day. And what was almost better than the Mountain Dew was some carrots that a day hiker gave me. She was going to put them in with the sodas, but I was there ready and willing to take on the carrots. Which is just another, like, the trail provides thing. Like, I've been thinking earlier today that my body, I think, is craving carrots or vegetables generally. And so, yeah, they were a little warm, but they were fresh and sweet and juicy. And it was, yeah, I munched them down as I stumbled my way along the lava rocks and enjoyed the views. It was great. I'm definitely looking forward to a few days of real food in Bend with lots of vegetables and fruit. It'll be a good time. So yeah, the lava rocks continued after the water cache, as did the butterflies. And I did go on the short side quest I mentioned at the beginning, which was to the top of a small hill off to the side of the trail. And the views were pretty special, kind of 360 panoramic views of all around, and just, yeah, different, special, all of that. And again, that was complemented by more butterflies. And then the day ended with about 5 miles of walking through a burn zone, which was a little bit exposed, but it flew by. And it also had some pretty good views of everything around it because you could see through the trees better than you normally can when there are no trees, really, or no full trees. Another added bonus of the day was that there were no mosquitoes, at least until I got to camp. But I am camped right by a bunch of the really nicely smelling purple flowers, so all is well. And in other updates, I keep forgetting to mention it, but on the 15th and 16th of August is a kind of festival type thing called the PCT Days, or so Pacific Crest Trail Days, which I don't know too much about it, but I just know that a lot of PCT hikers are going to this event where I think a bunch of big ultralight hiking brands come and advertise, and there's food and drink and I assume music. I don't know. We'll find out. But so we're planning on going to that. I'm not sure how we're going to get there. It depends where we are, if we can hitch, or maybe there are some friends I think that are potentially offering us a ride if we can arrange that. So yeah, excited for that. That'll be the next big event after this wedding, which, yeah, tomorrow is the big day. I do not know who's getting married, but I'm going to see some family, some of which I haven't seen in about 10 years. So really looking forward to that. It's going to be a good time spending the next day and a half with them, I think, before meeting up with the others. And speaking of the others, I think everyone, all of the ducklings are solo at the moment. I think unfortunately Scales is still ill. She was talking about some interesting symptoms of feeling like her body is floating and like jelly when she goes uphill. So I think she definitely got the cold worse than I did. I never had any of that, although it does sound kind of fun as long as she's not feeling too miserable. And then Birdsong, I think, was a bit delayed with her shoes, but she's just done her first 30-mile day, which is very exciting. And then Jump Scare, still with Cannonball a few miles back. We're trying to see if we can arrange meeting up at some point. But yeah, everyone's kind of on their own, so I don't know when we're going to reunite in Bend, but we'll see what happens. I'm fine to wait for a little bit. It'll be fun to recharge before I potentially attempt the 24-hour challenge, where I try and walk as far as I can. I'm potentially aiming for about 50 miles in a day, but more on that later. But I have definitely rambled on for too long this time around. So yes, I will see you tomorrow for the very exciting wedding. See you there.